Hi again. Today I'm reviewing Fallen by Lauren Kate, and I'll read what it says on the blurb. Some angels are destined to fall. Instant, intense, weirdly familiar. The moment Luce looks at Daniel, she knows she has never felt like this before, except she can't shake the feeling that she has, and with him, a boy she doesn't remember ever setting eyes on. Will her attempt to find out why enlighten her or destroy her? I gotta be honest. The cover really sort of got my attention because I loved the dark midnight blue and the script that Fallen's in, and being in the paranormal section, it just sort of stood out for me and got my interest. And then I didn't just pick it up because of the cover. I did read the back, and I thought that the back um, was short and sweet and just enough to sort of draw you in, not give too much away. Um, but I found that the book was the opposite. I really disliked this book, which I didn't want to. I really wanted to like it, um, but I just didn't. I found it slow to get into. I didn't find it interesting. Um, like the last 100 or so pages, that's when it really got. I'm going. Oh, I thought, oh, there's a good paranormal story in here somewhere. Um, but it didn't happen quick enough. And then I found the ending, while it got much better, um, was hurried, whereas the rest of it had been so slow to get going and repetitive and unnecessary parts of it, because it's set in a reform school, because that happened to the main character, Luce or Lucinda, and she's sent here, and because of a strange incident that happened with her and this guy, he ended up um, dead in a fire, and she was hazy on the details, and so they're kind of blaming her but not outright, and so she ends up in a reform school. I think it's a little bit strange, and there's a lot of detail about the reform school. Um, there's so much on that and what's happening, and I found a lot of it just wasn't needed. It didn't add anything. Um, Whereas obviously some was needed to set the scene of where she was, what was happening. There was just too much of that, and then the boy, Daniel, who she's felt like she's known before. He's rude to her to start with, pushing her away because you've got this. It's almost like Edward and Bella when they first meet, and he pushes her away for her safety. Well, it's sort of like that again, but the turnaround with him is quite quick, and it's all for her own safety that he's keeping her away. But it changes so quickly, and then she's suddenly in love with him, is obsessed with him, um, and there's bad boy Cam, um, and I have to be honest, even the characters in this, I wasn't keen on. The main character, she irritated me. There's a section in it where one of the other characters, coming up to the climax, calls her spoiled, selfish, and as much as I hate to agree with the baddie, I think she had a nailed. I just couldn't relate to her, like her situation or anything like that. I just found her annoying how she I was going to say swang, but kept changing her mind between Cam and Daniel, and then she'd make up her mind that it was Daniel, and then she ended up kissing Cam. So it's things like that that just irritate me a little bit. Um, I don't. I know this is part of a series, a Fallen series. I do have the second one, Torment, on my bookshelf. How long it will be before I brave it and pick it up to read it is another thing. It might be completely opposite and get going really quickly because of how this one ends. So I might be drawn into that one quicker than I was this one, and it might continue the good ending on this one, which I hope it does, because I don't like to not like a book, but I was very disappointed with this one. It sort of reminded me of Hush Hush by Becca Fitzpatrick, um, along the same lines, but I much preferred Hush Hush. I found that was quicker to get into, better written, wasn't a lot of unneeded detail. And while Patch in Hush Hush is sort of a bad boy character that you either love or you hate in Hush Hush, I much preferred that to this. So yes, if you do read it, let me know what you think. But I would not recommend this at all. But others may find it the opposite and like the level of unnecessary detail in it. But yes, let me know what you think if you read it, and happy reading!